この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Sora no Woto. We're on episode 6. Last week we watched episode 5. Episode 5 is still kind of uploading on the BitChute places and the other places. But while that's going, there's a pretty good chance that there will be some mild blackouts later this afternoon because it's super hot here and there's lots of demand for energy and air conditioning and stuff. So beyond it being uncomfortably warm up here, which it is, also just want to avoid blackouts and things, so I wanted to get this recording done now, which will mean for you YouTube people that last week's will be up late. Sorry. Anyway, we're here to watch episode 6. Last week on episode 5, and I have no idea what to expect from this episode. I've got some theories, but last week we watched episode 5, and it consisted of an outing/mission and a lot of suspicion. Little bits and pieces that we saw. Some stuff about Kraus, whatever we were gonna call him. Some interesting stuff about him and his history as a desert fox, and I'm wondering if we're gonna play off of that story, just because it seems like Kureha as an individual is super into that and intrigued by it, and I'd like to know if we're gonna play with that as an idea at all. We had that. We had the acquisition of a bottle of a little something special from a little place, a little storage shed or something, by Kureha to give to said Kraus Desert Fox dude bro. I'm very curious about this, because we've been setting up this thing that the girls are doing for the Bastion to stay, I guess, in the black, monetarily, financially, and it seems like it's not entirely illegal, and it seems like it might have something to do with alcohol, and might be a, like, multifaceted operation where they get glass from the glass maker, and make wine somehow, and then sell it, and it's pretty interesting, and I'd like to know more about that. I don't know if we're going to do that now. And then there was the mission itself, which was very fun. It was kind of an opportunity for all 3 of the younger members of the Bastion to kind of go off on their own with minimal supervision. Rio, like, following them, but without their awareness. And to give them some chances to bond, which I think that they did, and I think that the episode did a good job of conveying that part of things more than anything else. And then we ended off with a nice, rather sentimental moment where we show the various etched names of people who have come before them and instill them with a sense of tradition. And I wonder if that's going to play into the other senses of tradition and stuff that play into this story. So there's a lot going on, and it's all just generally pretty pleasant and pretty fun and good. Kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, but that probably won't happen until the end game. So kind of looking for more like hints at things and more just time for the characters to break off into different groups or subgroups and get to know each other on more like serious levels. And of course, waiting for anything on Blondie from the past, any information we could get on Felicia and her past, anything. What's the little necklace thing? What does it do? Why do we care? What's going on with the phone and systems and anything about the world and history and stuff? Yeah, all of those things I'm okay with. So I'm sure we're going to get some of that and not all of it, and that's totally cool. So let's go ahead and watch Sora no Woto episode 6 and see what part of what we're expecting or not expecting we end up having in this one. Yeah? Yeah, let's watch it. Okay, so I've got Sora no Woto episode 6 up and ready to go. It is sitting at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description. Timer-based version will be up on YouTube. If you would like to do a syncy thing and sync up your own copy with the timer-based version, you are welcome to do so. And I'm getting out of breath and overheated. Oh boy. Beep beep timer coming at you now. Good. I'm gonna just... Where's my mouse? My mouse has disappeared. Okay, there it is. Now we're good. Beep beep timer. Morning glories. Ooh, town. Okay. Wait, is this town or is this a bigger city? Who the fuck are you? What was that? Hi, Kanata. You look very cute. What was that? That must have been a bigger city, right? Oh. Oh, no, never mind. Ah. Casual clothes. Aww. Yeah, get something made out of glass. Shiny little dolphin. Ah, unpaid training. Hey, woo, unpaid internships. But our salary is paid in money. Real money. Uh-huh. Wonder why we have real money. And, it's on time, huh? I think we are gonna focus on it. Okay. Hair ties. Hair ties Kureha? She's the only one who uses them. Besides, I guess Kanata uses clips. Hello, Chuko. Sure, I have felt the same way. Oh my god, they were just trying to get her out. Yeah, but she's a goober. She's a dum-dum. Show us the goods. Show us the goods. Indeed. Uh-huh. Oh my god, we're gonna get shwasted. Oh no, we're gonna sell our shwasted juice. I see. Where is it coming from? Okay. Oh, well, hi. Oh, hello, little one. You are very brightly dressed. I forget your name. Okay, it is genuinely too hot. I'm just gonna... Okay, that's better. Ooh. Ooh. Serious business. Oh, hi. Is something gonna go wrong with the handoff? Oh my god, we are in it. We are in it. Oh my god. Tell me that that is the outfit that I... Holy shit, Felicia. You gonna try and take it without paying? You... Uh-huh. Alright. You want a bigger cut? So you just want to take it... Sure. No, you're asking for it for free, aren't you? Yeah, I thought so. We've got guns too. We're fucking soldiers. You have screwed up. Sup? Amazing. You are fucking surrounded. Oh my god, or that. Tell me, we're just taking them out. Holy shit. Are they all rubber bullets? Are they all rubber bullets? Just give him a good scare. We saw no blood. He's gonna get back up, right? Oh my god, Felicia. Stab it. Or did they actually just murder all of those people? Because it seems a little much to just murderate a bunch of people. Maybe, never mind. Maybe that's exactly what we just did. Yeah, out. Holy fuck, that dress, though. Stop it. Yeah. Was... Then who? Oh, that works. Sure, yeah. That sounds like a deal. Yeah. That was gorgeous. In multiple ways. Uh-huh. She enjoys playing the role, though. Getting to do something real. I see. That dress is not okay, girl. That's overpowered as fuck. Serious balance issues. I don't know what that means. Calvados. Maybe. It's a little superstitious. What an interesting bit. What a fun segment. They got me. Alright, open the same way, another day. Oh, her side of things, maybe. Alright, what is with everybody in clown getup? I mean, it's colorful, which is great, but that's pretty dope, dude. Just gotta get the disco going. Do you not like your shoes? Oh. No hair brushing. Hair ties. Hair ties was the title. Okay. Fuck. Did she just smack Yumina? Literal turning of the other cheek. Okay. Oh, God. Aw. Yeah. All right. And how things tie together. And this is how we figured it all out, huh? Central Mafia. Okay. Uh. Oh, but you also have to buy other things? What do you mean? You mean bought it out from under you? Oh, I see. Smart. Brilliant. Tell them that the mafia, the people who run this business are crazy and you don't want in. That's brilliant. Just getting things to... Oh, yeah. Oh my god, that's a lot. That's a lot. What's she looking for? Hi, Michio. What do you want? The one that they have from the war spoils? With the particular designs on it. Yeah. Okay. Is it a backgammon box? Or like craps or something? It looks like one, but it's smaller. You won't find it. It's in the batch of other stuff. No, with your life. With your life. She's asking the deep shit, girl. Okay. Okay. Sure. It's way too hot. Huh. I went to Say's and all I got was this stupid t-shirt. Sure. Sure. They're kind of like modern vendor store shirt stuff. Oh, what's that about? Yep. Yeah. Hmm. Oh. Fuck. Oh. You mean nah, girl? It's all good. You keep working at it. You got it. Oh. So she pushed the rocks, huh? And that's just a memory of the old times, yeah. Prediction, the treasure box contains nothing but pictures of Michio. That's my prediction here. That it's all one thing, right? Okay, there's Kanata. Gunshots falling. It's a yikesy nice action sequence. And the transition between those is fun. Holy shit. Let's go save a child. Holy shit. Make that strength check. And the car is crushed. So someone earned a box. A bit of a war spoil, eh? Daijoubu. Kanata One-chan. Oh. Box, box, box. Get that girl that box. Sorry, we dropped some rocks. Ha 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 ha. I don't know how much that actually is worth. Ah, you really helped out. Box. Box. Yeah. What's in the box? I bet it's pictures of Michio. Yes. I don't think that's what those mean. Probably. I can't read kanji, so. I think it says something like stupid foreigner. Oh, it means strength. That's why I got it tattooed all over. I'm sure that I will be able to find in the specula what those kanji actually mean. Oh, she already thinks of you as family. Yeah. Hi. What's in the box? Fuck. Right? $20. Oh, it's a puzzle box. I see. The what? Hair ties. When you're all grown up, wear these? Something like that? Fuck! So it hasn't been... Okay. That's really good. Oh. Yeah, duh. Indeed. Indeed. End it there. End it there. End it there. No, no, wait, wait, wait. No. Ah, okay. Gonna hi. We're gonna spill the beans now. Well, that was a cut. Hey, what? Oh. Oh. Hey, that's also very pretty. Now, something to wait for. Something to gaze at from afar. Snumpai. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I thought not. Then how do you feel about Felicia's earlier comment? Yeah. Resonate. Good night, Rio. Maybe you believe in fate after all, eh? Alright, this might be the best episode so far. I think. It's a lot smarter. I want to know who scripted it. No, it's still Hiroyuki Yoshino. Okay. Crickets chirping, offerings to the deceased. Okay, sure. Okay. Initial overall thought, this episode feels quite a bit smarter with the dual interwoven storyline, where we get to figure out as we go along what pieces line up with what other pieces of the other story, and they intersect in multiple places that we don't know about in the first run through. That's pretty neat. The bait and switch slash, I don't know, it's not really a bait and switch. It's convince you that one thing is going on when another thing is going on. Like within the context of the show, a play is being played out, but it's presented to us as reality when all of the actors are our characters acting out parts within the play. That's cool. So is the interwoven story. That's cool. So is the thematic thrust of the episode. That's really cool. So is the sub thrust about fate. And we get the little dialogue with Felicia, who says like maybe somehow your mother guided you toward this, not knowing, but ripples, right? And that all kind of comes around toward the end when we start talking about no, as a supernatural phenomenon, Rio does not believe in fate because it fits into the superstitions that she's not a fan of, but there are coincidences that are a little much sometimes and feel more like something else. And if we would want to attribute those to there are long-lasting effects of the actions of an individual human or multiple individual humans over time, and those have odd results that are almost inexplicable and nearly supernatural seeming, then I'm with it. I think she's right on the money on that one. I mean, it's a pretty core part of my philosophy. I think that what people do generally matters. Yeah, I don't think that there's a karmic like balancing scale that's keeping track of everything and weighing you as good or evil. But I think that the effect that you have on future individuals and just present individuals ripples out in massive ways that you absolutely cannot predict. So yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it thematically. There were also some like moments in the episode that were really pretty and like well animated. Particularly the cut when Rio first comes and sits down is really like a lot of emphasis and dramatic emphasis put on this. It's cool. I mean, even just as she walks in, there's a lot going on. It's kind of similar to the cut of the dude with the glass blowing, where it's not like the most crazy accurate or smooth whatever, but it's got flow to it, and it's got like character to it as she's just drying her hair off and getting her shit together. Okay, but then we move into this cut as she falls in. Yeah, and the jerk back there is great. Whole cut is fun. And then when we move over to actually drying the hair is rendered beautifully. Almost like water in and of itself. It's very pretty. That's cool. That's super cool. Okay. Beyond that, there are a lot of little things in the episode that are super likable. Okay, the box as a MacGuffin that we don't know that we want until we know that we want it, and then we immediately know exactly where it is a cool idea. So is the book ending with these opening scenes at the beginning and the middle of the episode to demonstrate that we're going through the same segment of time twice. I think that's real clever. So we do these shots, right? Morning Glory, two particular people talking here, right? Same conversation, right? That's not something that would be repeating. And then this big, like, market square thing. So I guess this is still in Seiza. It's just, like, a not that common market thing going on. So he's going through and looking at all of this pottery, and he's just picking out, like, pre-war things, war spoils. And it's all for da boss. And we play it as humorous. We create, with no dialogue between them until significantly later when they run away from the car, we create a dynamic between these two individuals. The mini-boss of the two is the guy currently picking through stuff. He's the conniving, sharp-chinned, sharp-nosed, sharp-eyed, probably sharp-tongued one of the pair. A little more snarky, a little more quick-draw, and then he's the muscle. A little more square-jawed, a little bit miffed that he's being forced to carry all of this stuff. There's a friendly buddy cop dynamic between them, and we have no idea who the fuck they are. So just that we're able to do that is already like, hey, somebody on the staff here knows what they're doing, and I think they do. I think that whoever put this episode together knows what they're doing. Now, all of the episodes are scripted by Hirofumi Akai. I just totally mixed up two separate names of two different people. Hiroyuki Yoshino and Toshifumi Akai. Toshifumi Akai is the animation director for the whole thing. Hiroyuki Yoshino is the scriptwriter for the entire thing. And series composition, which is to say, he wrote the whole thing. Which is really strange to me because this episode feels like it was written by somebody different and better at writing. Not to say that Yoshino has been bad at writing, but this one just feels better. Yeah, there's a flow to the type of like semi-nonlinear repeated story that's going on here that's hard to do. And I wouldn't have guessed that he necessarily had the chops to pull it off this well. But he did, so props and credit where credit is due. Okay, I am going to go quickly through the other staff that's listed on this because both the episode director and the storyboarder and the animation director are all individuals who are only working on this episode, and I'm intrigued by all of those positions and whether I can glean anything interesting from the staff members. So I'm going to do that really quickly, and if there's anything interesting, I'll tell you. So, storyboarder, episode 6 is Takahiro Ikezoe. And let me look through what he's done. Opening 5 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Which is which one? Oh shit, it's that one. He directed that. Wow, okay. That's cool. That's something. Also, director and chief director for a lot of Show by Rock. Okay. That's all I've got for him. Episode director is Yo Miura, which I think is a name that I've never heard. And has very few credits, as one might expect. At least very few that I recognize or could glean anything from. Damn. And animation director is Keiko Nakaji. A couple episodes of The Idolmaster. A little bit of Lupin stuff. Not a lot. In between and cleanup animation on Princess Mononoke. A lot of in between and stuff. Not a lot of animation direction. Cool. Cool. Okay, well, that covers all of the staff members that I was intrigued by. Very interesting. Okay, I am going to look up certain other things now. What are calvados? I just don't know. Oh, it's a real thing. Calvados, often nicknamed Calva, is an apple or pear brandy from Normandy in France. So they are distilling it, and it is an apple or pear-based brandy. Lovely. That sounds really delicious, honestly. And that makes perfect sense. That's why he was sipping it from the equivalent of a snifter and, treating it like it had flavor. That's cool. Well, the first kanji of these two is beautiful. It's utsukushi. The second one being rice stock, I'm not entirely sure. It has some portions to it. Like, this is very similar to the kanji for, like, a plant stock. And usually when they get mangled together into, like, a multi-pictorial ideogram, as they call them, they get a little mussed up. So this is similar to, like, rice field, but not really. And then it's got the other symbols in it, and I don't know what those mean. But I will take him at his word. I think that this implies that the church at least has a small level of understanding of what the kanji used to mean and what language used to be, and thus have some control over that. It's also rather telling that the church chooses the names of the children or influences them. He says, like, if you something into her seal, yeah, this is the name, beautiful field of beautiful rice stock. If you card these into her seal, I'm sure she will have a plentiful, thriving life. So the seal that we see, like Kanata use, which says Kanata, I guess that's a thing and like an identification mark that's given out and influenced by the church. That's interesting. How intertwined with the government is that? Because that seems like the government ID. They're using that kind of a seal for sealing, like, military letters and correspondences. So it's important, and it matters that it's from the church. So how intertwined are the theological and political sides of this world? We don't really know. Don't really know. Cool. Sure. We know that the government exists, and we know that booze running is illegal because they talk, and Noelle very, like, distinctly says, like, if we were to be found out, we wouldn't get off with just a court-martial. Also, violation of monopoly and tax laws. If violation of monopoly, then there is legal booze, right? Otherwise, there's no monopoly to be had that would be legal, right? It wouldn't, unless they're just throwing that out as a random thing that sounds good. But I believe Noelle would have it figured out, and tax laws. So, is it just heavily regulated and they're running the good stuff under the table? Probably. But then it doesn't make sense that there would be as much demand for it as there is. It doesn't really matter. It ends up being an incredibly fun scene regardless, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, I think that covers most of my big questions about this episode. Specifically the kanji thing and some other stuff, and just general putting things together in my brain skull. Because this is an episode that intentionally misleads us and then reveals all its things, right? It's fun. Also, there were a lot of, like, I wouldn't even say sexy moments, but they're not fan service-y. I don't know how to describe this. There are a bunch of moments in this episode that are in no way like sexual or sexualizing the characters, but they're hot as fuck. I don't know how else to put it. Like this little moment where we get the classic little boop, very cute. And also, don't talk anymore. Kanata's here, and we need to keep her out of the know, out of the loop. She also looks very cute in her casual clothes, which is great. And Kureha can't keep a secret. Great. And we start talking about why she would be suspicious, but she's the least suspicious person in the entire universe, and so she's not going to figure it out. I mean, even if Kureha kept going, Noelle's got this on lock, and that's great. Very fun. Sweat. And I like that out of frame-ish and like a little bit fuzzed out because it's not where our focus is. It's just Noelle staring at it, just like, I got her. It's great. It's great. There's like an underlying humor to a lot of this episode that's there, but not to the same degree in previous episodes. Hi, Shuko. Bye, Shuko. All right, and then we turn around and go, well, finally, she's gone. We can get the real stuff going. Yeah, they figured it out quickly, but here's the stuff. Okay, and then we move straight into it. Okay, kind of. Well, I forgot that this scene happens as well. Scenes, setups, good. And that's when the idea that she had got implanted by Kanata because she asked, what would you do if someone else was trying to steal the dolphin or like buy it out from under you? Well, tell them that it's really dangerous and they probably don't want any part of that and it'll eat you. And so it intertwines. That's really cute. That's really cute. Okay. Will you explain yourself more clearly? Yes, but off screen, because we gotta show what's going on. Okay, and then vibes. First off, establishing shot that shows us things that we didn't know that we wanted to know, and I believe, nope, we cannot see Michio up on top of it. So it is not quite time yet. That will happen a little bit later, and we're just cleverly not shown that yet. Right? We don't see her anywhere in frame, right? No, because we're just prepping. We're just waiting. So we bring the brass in, get all jazzy with it. And the framing is on point. The entire setup is on point. The sort of low-light, grayish environment that we get gives us a noirish feel. Everything about this sequence is perfecto. The main man himself looking up. And we get our pan up to see what we're dealing with. And my first thought is, holy shit, tell me that Felicia is... And she's all in on the style and the ara. She's pure distilled ara here, and it's amazing. Like, big vibes of... like, mild vibes of Akari when she's in her work stuff. Just, there's... oh, I'm way too in love with this idea of Felicia playing this role because she gets pretty into it and she's really good at it, and the dress helps, and the like side goons that are our homies just all dappered up helps a lot. The like gleam of the glasses, the necklace thing, the whole setup is perfecto. Mm-hmm. And her voice actress sells the role that she's playing so perfectly. Ara, right? Ara. We'll take them all. So we see the gunfight begin, and it becomes pretty clear to us at that moment. After this moment, when they actually start shooting them up, that there's no blood flying, and it's like, I wonder what's really going on here. Okay, the guns that they are using. The ones that they hold out look like Walters, right? Just... oh, that's later that they actually show them, isn't it? Because hers doesn't, but I don't know what hers looks like. It's got a weird shape to, like, where it, like, slims down to the barrel. But those look like Walthers, right? Is that what they look like? I don't remember. I don't know my guns that well. I'll bet you anything, it's just on the specula. Episode 6 specula. Yeah, Walther P38s. The one that that she is using, that Rio is using, looks like a Mauser C96. I would have never gotten that. MP38s or 40s for the submachine guns that they pull, and an MG42 with a drum magazine, which is apparently not normal for Noelle when she whips out the little friend, you know? Okay. Then all will fall. Oof. Also, oof. Also, is this meant to be a hand signal? I don't know. And the dive away into transition to fireworks is perfect. Just the fireworks transition itself is freaking perfect. It's a good filmic technique that's used in a lot of places, and it's a good way to jump back in and out of these two scenes. I mean, they're roasting shells. They're popping blanks, I suppose. Blanks or rubber bullets or something. But we see zero impact and only acting, right? And lots of flashes. And with all the emphasis that we're putting on this sequence, we would expect a little something else. I do think that I love that Noelle goes from just like hard expression to a bit of a as she's just pouring rounds into them. And then he kind of oversells it a little bit. I don't know. There's a little bit of an oversell. And just like, damn, Felicia. Say it again. Okay. Yeah, so it's all a thing. Just scaring away the boys. And we do. And the rocks falling was not intentional. Do we hear Michio-san, right? Okay, yeah, I was not sure if I was imagining that. I thought that we had that as evidence that there was something going on, but no. But no, we did. Okay. And that all ripples together, doesn't it? It all intertwined. Somehow their mistakes and their ending up in this place leads to the thing that leads to the victory for everybody, and moreover leads to her getting her box back, which all ties it back in together, and all ties into Rio and her fate of being back here and doing the thing where she's distilling the liquor that her mom used to like, and it's all a thing. And all of that is implied to be related somehow, at least in the thematic level, to the cyclical nature of fate and the particular necklace that she has in D flat, and it is one note that resounds over time and had an influence on Kanata and is now having an influence on bringing her to where she is, and all of that ties into Rio, and whoa. Okay. Maybe it ties in even more than we'd expect. Maybe that blonde lady knew other people in our group too. I don't know. Maybe she had more of an influence than we would expect. Kind of a Natsume Reiko type of situation where she's just been everywhere and done everything. Well, I don't know. All right, we did it. We scared him off. I do feel like, just from the general expressions that we get, Kureha seems to be the most this is a mission of the four, sorry. Felicia seems to be mastermindy and like playing her role, but we don't get any indication of whether she likes playing her role or is just doing it. It's just ambiguous. It's hard to tell. Noelle seems to be as normally kudere as she has normally been, but also once she starts firing the gun, we see that little ha 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 ha, I have the power sort of situation going on from her. So I think she was getting into it. And then Rio, I feel like Rio really likes playing spy or like playing mafia, you know? I don't know why I get this impression, but the scenes that I get from her, she's kind of Kazana got, yeah, she's kind of like into it. She kind of, if she was in modern day Japan, she might have spent a year or two being a bit of a street punk Yankee, you know? She might have had a couple of friends in biker gangs, and she might have maybe like dyed some of her hair blonde at one point and stuff. Maybe carried around a baseball bat with spikes in it. You know, that's the vibe that I get from this. Is that she's getting to find out and live out a little bit of a little bit of a fantasy for herself, and that's really cool. I think that's really cool. Again, I'm reading in where there's nothing to read into, but I do get that vibe from Rio that she wants to live it up a little bit, and this is part of that. You know, she likes being able to say these badass lines. Nope. Later. And again, there are some actually interesting cuts and interesting animation things. There's something really weird about the way that this guy jumps up. You see that? What's going on there? Oh, I see. That I've never seen before. Well, it's a new one for the technique books. Okay, so next frame, he goes like this, right? So he jumps up. He's got whooshes of like, they're not smears, but they're like accents, or effects, you would say, of wind around him, which give him speed. But then he's also like motion blurred, in a way that's like up and down, and only in portions. Well, I guess it might not be. It might be all over, but this just doesn't look like it's blurred because it's all dark all the way across. Yeah, that makes sense. Same with this. But it feels like it's more intentional than that. Somebody went over this with a brush and blurred up portions of it. And then the very next frame is the same frame but clarified. It creates a really interesting effect when it's at full speed. It creates that jumpiness without actually putting in the work for it, which is kind of the point, right? A lot of the point of a lot of framing techniques, or I'm sorry, frame ordering techniques, because framing is composition and framing. Frame ordering techniques is to create flow and fluidity without doing the work for it. Like we've been seeing this in Yu Hakusho, where we get the overlays or after images to create a flow between relatively distant frames that otherwise wouldn't work, and still creates a strange effect. That's obviously what they're doing. But this is a new one to me. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. Where we go into a motion through a single frame that's got effects on it and blur attached to it, and then the very next frame we turn it into the same thing, because all of the rest of the frames here are on twos, I believe. So it's weird to do this for the rest of the frame order, because it gives us 3 in a row on what look like ones. But what we're really doing is like, okay, in between. Oh wow, it's all over the place. This whole sequence is all over the place and where the frames are. Never mind. I was gonna hope that the rest of it was all on twos so that I could make a clear point, which would be that if you're going 1 2 new frame, 1 2 new frame, 1 2 new frame, and what you do is your 1 and your 2 are the same frame, but one is blurry and the next one isn't. You've created the illusion of a sequence on ones when it's not, and that's kind of clever. I think that's kind of clever. I would like to see that effect used more, in different situations and in like more actiony shots, to see whether it feels right or if it feels wrong. Because it feels different, and it's like immediately, obviously, noticeably different if you're looking for it. But if you scattered that kind of a style throughout some animation frames, or throughout some action sequence frames, would it feel like a punch of momentum in the middle of the thing, like some of what we've seen in certain sequences where you like do the whole thing on threes and then you jump to ones as we get into like a higher momentum portion of the animation? Would this work the same way? I don't know. Maybe it's quite possible, because I have seen sequences where like smears are used in the same way, like motion to something, a frame that is smeared, a frame that is not smeared, and that works the same way. This is just an easier way of doing it with a digital blurring tool instead of actually redrawing smears. It's like being able to smear after the fact and not have to key animate it in, you know? It's kind of interesting, isn't it? as an idea. It opens some doors, I think, to creating more fluidity in motion without dramatically increasing like the time cost and man hours required. That's intriguing. Okay. And our reveal. That's all, everyone, and the dropping of the mask here from Felicia is very clear cut. And it's great. And everybody gets up. It's like, all right, that's a wrap, everyone. Good job, good job. All right, and back and forth, we need some payments. And, well, we got some knickknacks. How about some knickknacks? You want some knickknacks? You can have some knickknacks. That's great. And then we talk about this would be a bad juju if we were to get found out. Fair enough. And, hey, it seemed like you actually were enjoying yourself. Okay. The Calvados my mother loved was made at the Bastion. Then the reason why you ended up assigned to this troop might have been perhaps because your mother guided you here. And she smiles thinking about that. And that's our end. Because we're going to pick up on that theme at the end of the second section. Okay, so as I said before, I like that we open on the same place, same sequence, and then cut directly to the departure point for Kanata, because this is where they move their separate directions. I have no idea why they're all dressing like horrifying circus clown Oompa Loompas, but you know what? Colorful clothing for colorful kids, that's fine. You do you. Weird as fuck. That's pretty dope, kiddo. I love that he hits the little disco pose. It's great. He's got the tassel shirt. It's perfect. And Michio's angry. Doesn't want somebody to do her. Oh. This is what they really nailed. This is what they really nailed to make this whole episode work, is the little mystery of why doesn't Michio want her hair done by Yumina here. Because it's not that she doesn't want it, it's that she wants to do it right at this point. Oh, my heart. I can't. It's so beautiful. Priest will also be present. Yeah. And you always tell me to be good and just do it, right? So why can't you do it yourself? Well, you don't get it, Seiya. Okay, and as she runs, does she intentionally hit Yumina? Oh, no, she goes for Seiya. Yeah, she goes for Seiya. Okay, this could have been much more clearly demonstrated to us what happens here. They wanted it to be shocking, so they shot it from behind, but this isn't how you do this. The way you do this shot is exactly the way that you do a take a bullet for somebody sequence, and you do it from the front. So that it's like show that, okay, you do it with 3 shots like this. You show him like this, you show her get ready for it and actually rear back into it in a narrow. You don't do that in a wide. They try to do it here, but it's just her getting up off the bench. It doesn't work. Right, it doesn't work. She's just getting off the bench. And then we extend that out, so we show her rearing back for it. Then we cut to exactly the cut of Seiya that we had before, but further back as she's pulling in for it, and Yumina jumps in, and we see Yumina take the hit. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Like, I had to watch this 3 or 4 times for it to track. I honestly wasn't sure if she just, like, accidentally whacked her arm into Yumina, or what was going on here. Obviously there's a subtextual thing of like Christian turning the other cheek, but in this situation it was unclear to me that Yumina specifically put herself in the way of a blow meant for Seiya, right? That needed to be more clear for this scene to make sense. Yikes. Regardless, it's a smart scene, I think. And for her to hit Michio with the immediate, like, hardly even chastising, like so calm and so like good from Yumina, just like, you can't do things like that. Don't do things like that. Aww, what a good mom sister. Momster. I don't know. Okay, we still don't know what 10 yen and 25 means. We can kind of guess because she said she had 150 yen, right? So we could assume that that's a month's salary, correct? Because she said that she had 150 yen, and she was giving that up to what's-her-face in order to pay back for the car. And we could assume that she didn't end up buying anything because she went out doing other things instead. So she was giving up all of her month's salary. So we can guess that a month's salary for an adolescent, essentially trainee, is 150 yen. So the glass thing is, if she's already got room and board, then we'll say we'll have it. So that puts us at like 5 an hour, 40. Like gross estimate, that sounds like about $800 for a full-time job with room and board provided. That would be about fair. I mean, we don't really know, but let's guesstimate $800. Then that glass piece would be like $80, right? Because it's 10 yen. And 60, something like that. Whatever. Okay. Okay. It's an expensive piece of glass, but if it's, if it's an artisan piece, then that makes sense. Okay. And we show all the things. We show it all intertwining. Manage to get wind of the deal. The question. Yeah, she's all about that. Yeah. And what would you do if somebody came by and snatched it up? Just a what if. Very scary animals. Brilliant. What a great idea. What a great idea. Aw, and I'll set it aside for you. That's nice. That's super nice. You don't have to worry about it. Aw, Naomi. That's right. Her name is Naomi. Again, and always, environments are dope. Oh, Calle Jose Torres Mena? Was that in the specula? Twas. Calle Jose Torres Mena is a real neighborhood in Cuenca, and unsurprisingly is depicted in Seize, its anime counterpart. The sign is real. Whoa! Cool. Okay. Was just saying, cool environments. Yeah, big family, run into Michio, looking for a box, a particular box that's very particular, and is thankfully a puzzle box, which is wonderful. Okay, I came here to buy some presents to send back to my family. Oops. Shouldn't have mentioned family to the other war orphan, my bad. This is really tacky as fuck, dude. It's gross. No. Ew. No. Awful. Awful clothing. Okay, we tell the story, we flash to the story a few times, and Yumina's genuine desire to just be the family that Michio needs, and her, blame of self for not having gotten there yet, is the heartbreakingest. It is so heartbreaking and so perfect. Okay, and then reveal and situation becomes clear to us. We see this stuff. It's a floor mat. Well, it could just be... I'm trying to determine, is there anything, can we tell whether her place is, Japanese style? I guess they have what looks like 3 futons folded up. So it is semi-Japanese style. And they are all sitting on the floor, so there's that. Anyway, the action direction in this episode, I think, is really solid. We have had a sequence quite like this before, where a character almost falls off of a building because of reasons. It was episode 1, and it was Kanata. It didn't look this good. This one's a lot more dramatic. And the intercutting between that and the firecrackers, everything that's going on, the slow rotation around her as we're going, and the catch. And it's all timed super well. Fall, catch, grab, got her, boom, rocks falling, pull, up. Also, the cut of her pulling up, she bases out and does a full flat back, like, deadlifty squat thing, falls over a little bit as she goes, tumbles and barely makes it. There's thought put into it. It's really well done. I'm sorry it wasn't Yumina. Oh, but Yumina is family, obviously. Okay, and then we run into each other, and then she's like, here, 150 yen. Nope. It's all good. I've been paid. Also, box. Can I have the box? Give me the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? Okay. Giving away names. Goodbye. Yumina. Devote myself to that girl. And we meet an older member of the church, the first that we have met, who is not the creepy, yellow-haired, dark-skinned man who smiled creepily at us and apparently may have murdered Rio's mom or whatever, or just not helped or whatnot. We meet another church member who seems well-intentioned and, like, fine. So that's 2 and 1. We've had one super creepy, awful, churchy person, and we've had 2 fairly wonderful churchy people. This one who gives her advice and is just like, you're doing your best. You can't rush these things. That's a child who's dealing with shitloads of trauma. You can't just suck the trauma out of her. Would that you could, but you can't. You can just be there for her, and it's hard. So we arrive and treasure it, but no, that's not it. Not quite. They lived in the town attacked by that invisible Death Reaper. We don't have any context to know what this means. I would assume that it means a plague of some kind, or a biological weapon, more likely. An invisible death, a culling of the populace. Yeah, plague would make sense. Biological, like a weaponized biological plague would make sense, because I think he does say that her mom fell ill after. Yeah, her mother was already showing symptoms of illness, so soon after. That's it. Just so soon after she died, I would assume. There's no implication of, like, her mom was showing signs of illness, and so we purged her so that the rest of us would be safe. It doesn't seem like it's contagious-y, you know? Because the 2 of them arrived together, and they weren't afraid of the daughter having it, or spreading it, or whatever. So I'm gonna guess a biological or chemical weapon that's specifically intended to just kill people who inhale it or are near it. I mean, it could even be a nearby nuclear blast and radiation poisoning, but that wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough to cause her to just straight up die. You'd just have a miserable experience for a long time. It depends on the dose, obviously. But it's a beautiful puzzle box. This is kind of close and near and dear to my heart because I used to have a couple of these, and they're great. They're really fun. Very, very wonderful thing to give to a child to keep their treasures in if they want to. It's cool. Yeah, give these. Yeah. Oh, my soul. And we go for the full spot coloring, and also that I should have the person who would care for me the most from now on do it for me. And that's you, Yumina. Yeah. Yeah, you are family. Yeah. This is a great line. Despite that, we will still live on. That strength is a very sad, very precious thing. I have a good friend of mine who's off on the East Coast and is studying in school. And she just went home for a little while because her grandfather is on his deathbed. And I don't know. It's nowhere near the same kind of difficulty, but being on the outside of that and not knowing quite what to say to someone is difficult, I would say. Again, obviously, nowhere near the difficulty of actually going through it. But for me, as a person, I don't like consoling very much. It's not useful. Oh, things are going to be all right. It's not my style. I prefer, like, you're strong enough to get through this. Life goes on regardless, and you must make of it what you will, and that this too shall pass. Like, those are the things that I hold on to when everything is dark, is like personal internal strength, reliance on good habits, good systems, like make sure that your sleep schedule is not as fucked up as it could be. Make sure that you're eating. Make sure that you're hydrating. Like, if you don't cover these bases, then you're going to be emotionally fucked, and there's no way you're going to be able to handle your shit. But, like, my version of consoling is to be kind of a dick about it and just be like, look, you're strong enough to deal with this. If you need to cry, cry, but then also make yourself some food and make sure that you have all the tools that you need to continue doing what you need to do, because that's the only way that you get through, is by not letting it stop you. This little conversation here and these words from this priest character, I think, are really valuable to people who are in that kind of a situation, and also to me as someone who's still trying to figure out what to say. The idea that something can be very precious and yet still sad is important, even if we are parted from our loved ones and so go through times so tough that we think we'll pass on. Life goes on. We will still live on. And that strength that we have as humans it's part of our curse, right? It's part of the curse of the young, is to watch other people die and to feel pain and torture and suffering. And that ability, that fact that we can't just make it end. I mean, we can, but it's not a good idea. That is very sad. But it's also so precious that we are able to live on, and that we are able to learn from our experiences and from the traumas that we experience, and that we can so often turn those in turn to helping people who are dealing with the same things in the future. Like, there's something cyclic here in this episode. I mentioned it before kind of in passing as like, oh, I think this one's directed better, but there's a parallel between Kanata almost falling out of the building and Michio almost falling off of this roof, and the people who grab them being the ones that they are, being Ryo and being Kanata. Ryo who grabs Kanata, Kanata who grabs Michio, Michio whose story ends up turning back around and becoming the conversation about fate that we have with Ryo. Like, it all connects back together, doesn't it? I wonder how much it connects back together. I wonder how much, like, Michio as a character lost a family member. We think that the blonde lady is a family member to Ryo. How connected is that? I don't know. There's also, I mean, there's a visual parallel in the flashback style between young Ryo watching her mother die from 3-day fever and the church coming and not helping at all, versus the scenes that we see of a solid family that was taken away from Michio, and now she finds herself with a new family that is the church. That's super different, but also super interesting, right? Feels like there's a lot here. Feels like there's some good stuff in this episode. And once again, because I mentioned it, I also mentioned in the previous episode that I didn't think that episode 5 did a lot to recontextualize previous episodes. I think this one is back on that train, and I think that's valuable and cool. Yeah, thanks, sis. Kalazurone-chan. You are family. You are succeeding. Okay, as I said, I think this cut is real fun. Wachow. Bam. And also chilling out. Let me dry your hair. Things coming around again, I guess. I don't know. And fate. And I hate things that are already decided ahead of time, of course. Fatalism, not fun. Predetermination kind of sucks. Kind of negates the idea of free will, and it's kind of shitty. But this as a set of lines, it might be possible that the pure coincidences that someone creates may cause ripples that could in turn cause big changes in other people's lives. Indeed. And we focus on the bottle during that, which is, I think, meant to be implying that like the booze that was made at the place that my mom drank was the thing that comes all around, you know? Yeah. What does it say on it? I don't know. I just don't know. Crap. Okay, but then we finish off with this little conversation, and it's great. And it is. I think it's really fucking solid here. We've got an ambiguous questioning of the nature of fate and superstition and religion from a character that outwardly professes to hate those things, driven by a sequence of events that's like ultra intertwined, and an episode that contains all of the humor, really good characterization, a solid sequence that misleads the audience and misleads some other characters in the world of the show, and a really cool, intriguing narrative style where we do the same story twice from two different sides, two different angles, and demonstrate how more context gives us a lot more answers. That's freaking cool. This is my favorite episode of Sora no Woto so far. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it that. Nice. Good shit, Sora no Woto. I think we're calling it there. I don't think I've got too much more to talk about here. This was a great one. I'm really happy. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Sora no Woto episode 6. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week for episode 7, and then 7.5, and then onward and onward. I'm so yawny now. Why am I so yawny? I don't know. Alright, that's my cue. I'll see you next week. Peace.